Hello to our Night to Shine Volunteers Helping Hands team. Now you may be thinking, what is the Helping Hands team? Because that was not on the registration form. I wanted to let you know that we have renamed the floater role to Helping Hands. And the reason why we did that is because in the past, people have said we weren't quite sure as a floater what we were supposed to be doing. And I was talking with April Harbin and Paige Lockridge about my goal and what we were hoping to accomplish with that role. And we decided to rename it to Helping Hands. So in the past, if you were a floater, maybe you weren't quite sure what we wanted you to do. And sometimes people would stand along the perimeter and watch and be available to help, but no one really knew what they were doing or who to ask for help. So our Helping Hands team is a more engaged, more interactive team, offering help in many different settings. So at the very beginning of the night, we want you to help families get into the door, direct them into the sanctuary where they can get signed up. We're actually going to be doing sign up a little different this year. Hopefully we're going to eliminate all of the long lines, and we're going to have a QR code where our guests and our volunteers actually are going to scan a QR code, get signed in. And so we want our Helping Hands team to be kind of like the greeters who greet the families and direct them into the sanctuary, help them get connected with their buddies, help them get signed in with the QR code, and then show them how to get down the hallway and start their fun night. So some of our Helping Hands will be specifically assigned to certain locations at the beginning of the night. So I might say, April Harbin, can you be at the main entrance and help families follow this direction? And Paige, can you be at this location? And then once we get everybody signed in and the night starts, then we're going to ask you to rotate through the event. That means, in the dance room, in the sensory room, in the hair and makeup room, in the photo booth room, just be present. And when you're present in those settings, what we want you to do is to actively engage. Go up and ask people, how are you? And what's your name? And what's your favorite song? And if you enjoy dancing, and what's your favorite food? And what do you like to do? Because some of our buddies are younger and they may, bless their hearts for volunteering to be a buddy. I love that. But they might need a little bit of help engaging with their guests. They might all of a sudden feel a little bit overwhelmed and uncomfortable, or they might not. Maybe they're familiar with one type of disability, so they thought they'd be okay, but maybe they got assigned to a different type of disability and they're just a little unsure, and they just need like an extra person to come up and say, how's it going? How are you doing? How can I help? It could just be that you're just having a conversation to get them feeling more comfortable. Beyond that, maybe it's that someone needs to go to the bathroom and they don't know who to ask. Like, I'm really going to go to the bathroom. And if you're a helping hand, you're going to have a helping hand noted on either your name tag or your shirt. And they're going to know that they can say, can I go to the bathroom? And if that happens, they're going to tell you everything about their guest that you need to know, like allergies or any of those types of things. And so, maybe they're so thirsty and they need water and they didn't know who to ask. Or maybe you notice that their guest looks a little bit overwhelmed, and maybe you could step in and say, hey, would you like to visit the sensory room? Or have you been to Shoe Shine? Because it's a quieter area. You might suggest a quieter area or any of those things. So you're not taking over the guest. You are just stepping in to assist and help the buddy if in any way that they might need help. Again, not to take over, but to assist and help them facilitate and to interact directly. So I hope that clears up the Helping Hands role. Look at it as literally stepping in in whatever way that they need, so that they feel more comfortable and so that our buddies don't feel all alone. It could even be that maybe you see Miss Benita in the hallway trying to get food upstairs to the parent room, and you could just ask to help her. I mean, it's anything that you see. You're going to be actively looking for who needs help. How can I step in? How can I assist? And again, you'll be wearing either a separate hand, like a little helping hand, or it'll be on your name tag so that people can clearly see that you are there to help them in any way. So I just want to tell you that I really appreciate your help. We really couldn't do this without you. I will go ahead and let you know, since you'll be interacting with guests, that if the guest name is in red, then it's only a few of our guests. It's because the parent or caretaker said that they have a tendency to want to run, and we want you to be able to see that immediately. If their name is in black, They're not supposed to be a runner. We do have safety and security at every door, elevator, stairs. We have bathroom attendants in the or outside the bathroom doors. So we try to have every area covered. We have a medical team. I feel like we've really tried to think through all the issues, but I wanted you to know that about their name tag. And then if they're allergic to something, that will be on their name tag as well. So it'll say, I'm allergic to. And then also, if they're not allowed to ride a limo, it will say that. We will have a couple of guests we only have a few who their name is going to be in red, by the way. So don't worry. There's not going to be many who are considered flight risk, and that's deemed by their parent or caretaker. But if there are some who ride limos and they are not independently mobile, then the parents have been asked to come down and help to assist with transfer, because no volunteer is going to be transferring, because you could hurt yourself or you could hurt the guest. And we don't want to do that. So the parents know that if their child has to go to the bathroom or get in the limo, then they're going to be contacted from upstairs and asked to come down. I'll also tell you really quickly that the last, one of the things that you'll want to be aware of, just point of reference, is that Tim Tebow Foundation also requires that parents who want to interact with our guests, even if it's their own child, has to have a background check. Or we have decided to enact one extra little step, because some parents didn't want to do the background check for various reasons. And so if they need to come down for some reason and they don't have a background check, their name's going to be handwritten on their name tag. That means I don't have a form. I didn't have a way of printing them a name tag, and that's a good thing. That means I don't have a background check. So they're going to be escorted by a team that does have a background check, and they'll be like, hey, we're going to guide you, not escort, but guide you down to where the kiddos are, and they'll help them find you. They'll help them be present, since they don't have a background check, and Pastor Andrew Hackler is going to be overseeing that team. If it's a parent and they do come down and they have their name is printed, like from the printer, not like handwritten, but printed, that means I do have a background check and they are clear to be interacting downstairs as well. So just to let you know that we have a lot of things going on. There's a lot of rules and regulations we have to follow for safety. It may not make sense to everyone, but I want you to know there's a reason behind it all. And so if you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and let me know. We want each person to know that you are needed. If you can, please be there. I've had a couple of cancellations recently. We understand things happen, but please be there, because each person's going to be assigned to a spot, at least at the beginning. And then as the night goes, you'll be asked to rotate around. But please be there and know that you are needed, you are valued, and we want everyone to be safe, and want everybody to be healthy, we want everybody to have a good time. Lastly, I will say that if we have a fun night, yay, that's wonderful. We want to have a fun night, and we want everyone to feel valued and loved and special. But if we walk away and that's all that's happened, then we've missed, to me, my mark, the mark I've set. Because what I want is for there to be fruit and an eternal impact from our event. I so desire, I have so had on my heart that these families who are often isolated, who often don't feel like they belong anywhere, who often probably even question, does God see me? Does he love me? Many of our families I know firsthand have no connection, no support group, no church. Many of them don't have family. Many are single parents. And they don't always have, the crazy at my house, they don't always have a connection. And I just want you to know that when they leave Tabernacle Baptist, I so desire for them to feel God's presence, to know that he loves them immensely, that God loves them so much that he sent Jesus to die on the cross for them. I want them to leave knowing that and to be like, I am special. God does love me, and he did this for me. And I actually have a choice to make. I can accept his gift of forgiveness, and and this can be an eternal impact. And that's my desire, is that while they're in our church building, that it not be religion or might not be, just rules and stuff, but that they go, there's something different here. I really want them to know God, and to get to know God, and to know that he loves them and how much he loves them. So, yes, this is for our special friends. These are so our guests feel special, but there's a lot of people that are going to be there that don't know the Lord, including the families. And this is a great opportunity for us to pour into them and show them love and fill in a place where they desperately need. So If you have questions or concerns, please let me know. I've tried to communicate my heart and the goal of your role, but let me know. Maybe it didn't make sense, or maybe it's not something you're comfortable with. Please do let me know. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart.